Okay, TommyNFG. The invasion of Gen Alpha. See it.
There are four of the most notable generations known in recent years of humanity: Boomers, Gen X, Millennials, and Gen Z. These four generations lived in harmony. Okay, that's a lie, but it just goes with the intro, so let me play this out. All was well in humanity, and although each side had problems of their own, when times got rough, they came together to conquer them with iron fists. That was until the invasion of the Gen Alpha.
What is
The iPads, unstandable personality,
what's that? 2010?
no attention span,
For now?
are just some of the things that Gen Alpha has been labeled with. Oh, and if you didn't know about this, you would have known if you follow my IG. So, quick plug, go follow my IG. And in the last
Damn,
video
nigga.
where I ranked every generation's worst faults, everyone asked me, but Tommy, you forgot all about Gen Alpha. Best believe I didn't forget. No. Gen Alpha is on track to being the worst.
Nigga gave Gen Alpha their whole own video.
It's the combination of every generation's worst faults combined into one. And the first thing I want to start up with is entertainment. Now there's a very important date I want you to all remember, which is February 15th, 2015. And why is this date important? It's because that's the date YouTube Kids was released, aka the killing of childhood entertainment. For every other generation, there was a time where your main or only source of entertainment was the TV or a family computer.
Fuck no.
And kids' main source of entertainment, since usually they didn't get iPhone 14 Pro Maxes at 5 years old, was the TV. So off rip, we didn't have unlimited mindless access to things we wanted and basically had to watch what the TV programs chose. You could say that the TV is mindless entertainment, but not at the level we have now.
Nah, because you could break us away with some commercials.
Chosen by people versus a selection of content tailored to your specific needs. We
And,
know
yeah,
which
exactly
one
that too.
I mean, come on.
I was smooth about to say
Gen
that.
Alpha is the first generation to grow up without these restrictions. And you know what? I would say that's actually a-okay. I mean, as long as the content is helping push forward positive educational brain stimulating videos, then no need to worry. Right? Yeah, for any of y'all that have taken a gander at your little cousin's iPad, you would know that's not the case. Like, bro, they really be out here watching videos like this glued to the screen. You look in their eyes while they're watching one of these, and I genuinely think you'll turn into stone. For Gen Z and Millennials, man, we really grew up with the last ounce of childhood shows that we can reminisce on with happiness. I can look on with happiness at most of the cartoons, childhood shows, and books I read as a kid. The fact that there's gonna be Gen Alpha kids looking back at Coco Melon and Skibbity Toilet then being like, oh man, they don't make them like this anymore.
Fuck no.
This shit was a classic. Nigga, no! It just sounds like a nightmare dystopian waiting to happen. Like I'm sitting here trying to understand how they're
Nigga got
gonna
the
be
cranium of
genuinely happy
gods.
and nostalgic over this shit. And don't get me wrong, okay? Gen Z and Millennials had their weird shit too growing up as well. Niggas was out here watching Uncle Grandpa, the most brain dead shit
That
you'll
shit
ever watch.
terrible.
I know y'all
Nobody
remember
watching
the
that
old
bullshit.
MLG edits where whatever the this was playing. But you know what? I'll take any of these any day over Skibbity Toilet. And another problem with all their entertainment is all the weird things they actually consume. Like, do y'all think all the weird stuff that bypasses on YouTube Kids would ever play on a television? No, I remember if you even cursed on TV, they would hit your ass with about 50 lawsuits and thousands of dollars worth of fines. But now you got kids on YouTube Kids looking at Elsa and Spider-Man kissing videos, weird pregnancy videos. We're not even gonna get into that thing. Just the most trash and mind-numbing shit you'll ever see. I don't even want to go through all of it. Taking a scroll through the homepage makes me feel like I'm about to have a rainbow seizure. I can only imagine the type of mindset they're going to grow up and how this type of content is going to affect them in the future. I don't think it's gonna be good. Everyone else is already thugging it out and we had it way easier. Another problem I see is definitely education. In general, I feel like the entire world is facing an education crisis. Like, who in reality wants to teach anymore? You get paid a salary equivalent to a popsicle stick. Kids don't listen to you and have no respect for you. And kids can't even comprehend the lesson you're required to teach. Like, just imagine being a middle school teacher in the year of 2023. I thank God I can do YouTube full time because I wouldn't make it alive after a year after working. And recently there's been a lot of teachers complaining about how dumb Gen Z and Gen Alpha actually are. Saying that there are 7th graders that can't even read at a 3rd grade level. Like,
Damn.
bro, you're supposed to be able to read chapter books by 2nd grade, and these kids out here struggling to read Dr. Seuss. Now, granted, there has always been dumbass niggas in the class that genuinely can't read, but from the amount of teachers I've seen complaining about this, it's on a whole nother level now. And I can honestly believe them just off of when I read some of the comments y'all be making. You ever see a comment online and you legit have to sit there and hyper focus to make out what they're even talking about? I'd be like, damn, did you even look at what you typed out, my nigga? What are you talking about? Maybe it was just different for me because I was a scholarly student. I've always been good at English and literature in school. But now it feels like instead of it just being 2 dumbasses in the class that can't read, it's the entire class that can't read. More than ever is it possible to let everything but you do the work, which is why I think this is happening. Another problem is definitely socializing. We already know all of Gen Z being addicted to their phones.
Nigga, is that
causing them
Pokemon?
to be unreal, antisocial human beings, talking like troglodytes and burning up when the sun hits their skin. But Gen Z was just an experiment group. The game turned from experimental mode to alpha testing now. At least for most of us, we could fathom a social life without using our phones. Going outside after school to play all types of outside games with the homies, meeting at a park, playing basketball, soccer, baseball, whatever.
What the fuck was that nigga doing with that layup? Why his ankles was to his ass?
The homies, meeting at a park, playing basketball.
Well, what the fuck is this layup? Oh, am I in the way? Oh no, y'all can see this nigga. Oh my god, he missed that bitch.
Soccer,
Did I just see a nigga with a mohawk? Oh my god. Okay.
Ball, whatever. Having this be the
I'm gonna let it
huddle ground
slide.
and just
He a little
chalking it
nigga.
up. Things that require the brain to be in a human state and cause our actions to have consequences. Gen Alpha sadly is the first generation to be deprived of this. They were born with phones and tablets in their hands since birth. Their new meeting huddle ground instead is a Discord call with their online Roblox friends, having sex in Discord calls and all types of monkey business. Like, you know how we were all super excited when it was recess time in elementary school and we could finally go outside? I guarantee these kids do not give a they'd rather sit inside and play on their tablet instead. And I can't even put blame on all of them. Like, lockdown definitely did not help.
You need to wipe his face. What is that on his face? To do one of these.
You went from 1st grade to 3rd or 4th grade and you're finally back in a physical school socializing. You missed damn near half your experience, and those are the most important times for learning how to communicate. It's not normal for anyone, let alone a child, to be locked away from socializing like that. Another thing that's definitely going to be worse is creativity. Most of us remember as a kid when you would have toys and board games and read childhood books. And with all of these
damn, I forgot about Corduroy Boy.
As a kid, you could imagine the scenario coming to life, which is a good way of building up the brain's cognitive abilities and helps you create huge things in the future. You would play fight with your toys and act out scenarios of your wildest dreams that could only be imagined. But with Gen Alpha and their iPads, you don't even need creativity anymore. Like, what's the point of imagining things creatively when you could just play Subway Surfers for hours and play Skibbity Toilet Roblox Obby with flashing neon lights? If you're already getting dopamine rushes every time you open the screen, then of course you don't have to worry. Another thing that's pretty bad is Gen Alpha parenting. Now look, okay, obviously parenting is not a walk.
That nigga JC so fucking ugly,
at the end of the day are trying their best to make it work with the worst circumstances given to them. But the problem with these kids is not like they're bad like every other generation has bad kids. It's that they're demons. Like, have you ever tried to simply take away the iPad from a kid? They throw a fit, the whole building goes down, the sky collapses on itself.
I ain't gonna lie, to balance it, niggas might have to bring back whoopings, bro. I know whoopings is starting to get phased out, but whoopings might have to come back. Now, me personally, would I whoop my kids? Probably not. I knew the pain it was to go through them whoopings, bro. Them shits that had you running around away from home. But look, these niggas is bad-ass little kids. They need to get hit. Yo! Not in that sense, bro. Chill. Bro, chill.
Crackhead would act if you
they need to be disciplined. That's what I meant.
Of their finest crystals. And in general, just not knowing manners and how to treat people. Like, I'm damn near starting to sound like a boomer. I'm not talking about in the sense of speaking to every adult like they're King Charles III. What I mean is simply saying things like sorry or thank you or excuse me.
Niggas ain't got no manners.
Basic things you should already be taught as a kid. Which is another thing that teachers are apparently complaining about. Saying that kids in the 1st grade are starting to talk back to them. For me personally, almost none of the kids talked back in elementary school with a few exceptions. If the teacher said 1, 2, 3, eyes on me, your ass better have been quiet after the me or you were getting a call home that day. And I'm putting the blame on some parents being too Because if your kid acts like that to a teacher with authority,
I'm grabbing that peanut head nigga by his collar, bro. I swear to God, turn that crew neck to a fucking V-neck. Stop playing with me.
How much they step over you. I get if you don't want to be a super strict type parent and have PTSD from the way you got raised. But all I'm saying is, a good belt whooping or chunkla slapping.
See, Tommy and I locked in. I might be older than this little nigga, but hey, we the same.
Now don't overdo it, but it don't hurt every once in a while. They're gonna have to learn the actions for their consequences.
Just one love.
Eventually come around and find out too late in life.
What the
We
fuck?
already see this happen with people all the time in life, and it's only getting worse. I swear, these kids out here be watching Neon and
Nigga put in no.
thinking they could just say whatever with no consequences. Another thing I feel is gonna be different is comedy. Like, we already know how the climate is right now for comedians. Comedian makes joke, aka does their job, and people run to all their social media accounts to take them down like the Flash. But can you imagine a Gen Alpha comedian even existing? They're gonna have the shortest career lifespan before the internet
Nigga,
swallows
Gen
them
Alpha
whole.
comedian sounds like the most unfunny niggas on the
list of
planet.
Every type of group they can't joke about. It's gonna take so much brain power to figure out what would even be okay to say. So to wrap up, I actually want to talk about some positive things that hopefully maybe...
This nigga spent 10 minutes hating and said he gonna spend some time doing positive things for the last minute. What the fuck?
Can come out
And he got a 20-second intro. This is really 40 seconds. What the fuck?
Gen Alpha. Like, I think by the time Gen Alpha is fully grown, almost no one is gonna get discriminated for some dumb shit. You can see all types of cultures and things at the touch of a button, which makes it so people don't have to wonder anymore. And since Gen Alpha is the most populated generation ever, okay, hold up, doing research for this vid, I just found out that there's 2 billion of Gen Alphas.
What the fuck?
Dear God. But hopefully that's at least gone by then. And who knows, maybe there's some grown Gen Alpha kids 10 or 20 years in the future that are watching this that made it a-okay. Gen Z isn't safe like I said, but I mean, I made it out perfectly fine and a bunch of other kids made it out perfectly fine, so hopefully those kids make it out fine. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok.
That wasn't even positive just to them. It literally was just saying like, they're, you know, everybody get through, you know, their trials and tribulations. Nigga, that is not positive.
Guys consensually, and until next time, I'm out.
Damn, that pause was a little long, huh? This is a good video. Shout out, you know, Tommy, man.